This honor has got me really thinking about what it means to be excellent. And I'm the child of immigrant parents, and if you don't know what that means, when I was a young child, my mom would make me save all my homework assignments, and then every night make me redo them, even though I had hundreds on all of them. And at that point, excellence was expected. As I grew older and I started dancing professionally, before each performance, I would run the piece 100 times. And at that time, excellence was perfection. And as I grew even older, I was a sophomore at Emory University, and I realized I very passionately wanted to be a Bollywood star. And I would weep in my room at night as I watched Bollywood films, and I would just, I didn't know what I was doing with my life. All I wanted was that. And thankfully my father recognized that this Bollywood obsession was no mere fancy. And he gave me the best advice that I've ever received. He said, if you want to be a Bollywood star, go to Bollywood. And so I did what any obedient Indian child would do. And I dropped out of college and I moved to Mumbai. And at that point I learned that excellence is going where the opportunity is. And so I arrived in Mumbai and reality hit. I didn't know the language, I didn't know anyone, and I wasn't from an affluent and influential film family. I had to teach myself how to speak Hindi, and I had to navigate an industry that didn't care about how excellent I was. Suddenly, excellence was resilience. And so I spent 7 years in Mumbai, and it was the toughest 7 years of my life because I was all alone and I didn't really know anybody, and I was learning how to navigate an entire country where everyone looked like me, and that's very different if you grow up in the South and you're the different one. And suddenly you show up and now you're the same. And so thankfully, it was a great journey. After 7 years, I went on to co-produce a Bollywood film which had the industry's best choreographers, and we took the film to international distribution, and I got rave reviews as a performer. But we released the film on a Friday, and when we got the box office reports on Saturday morning, the film had bombed. It was a complete failure. And that was the most heartbreaking moment of my life. I've never experienced heartbreak. I'm like the type of girl that will date you and then be like, okay, bye, that's fine. But thankfully I'm still with my husband 8 years later. That film broke me. And it really, I left Mumbai after that, and at that time, excellence became about pulling myself up from failure and heartbreak.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then I arrived in New York City, the most expensive city in the world, but I still wanted to be an actor, dancer, performer, artist. And I had to find a way to make money because I had really bled my dad dry. He was broke. He was like, no. And so I taught myself how to design websites and code. And all of a sudden this side business became this huge income generator, and I had a full-blown business. But I still wanted to be an actor, dancer, performer, and I wasn't getting the opportunities that I wanted. I wasn't getting auditions for roles that I thought were worth my time. And so one day, I decided to create something that was mine. Top to bottom was my vision. And I created this little dance video and I put it out on the internet, and all of a sudden all these people started calling me and messaging me and texting me and saying, oh my God, why aren't you making more work? Why aren't you putting this out there yourself? And the next thing I know, Elle magazine is calling me and they want to feature me in their movement series, and I'm the first South Asian performer to be featured by Elle magazine as a dancer.
All right.
And that was the moment I realized that true excellence is creating your own opportunities. And so last year, this is the end, I promise. Last year, after that moment, I realized, if I can do this as a dancer, why can't I do this as an actor? Why can't I go make films? Why can't I tell stories that are about me, that are about us, that are about women? Because I also learned sometime around last year on January 20th that women actually don't have as much power that I somehow thought that we had, because we weren't actually decision makers. We weren't the ones who were at Cannes Film Festival. In fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but since 1946, only 84 of the 1,790 filmmakers whose films have been shown in competition at Cannes Film Festival are women. That's 1 in 20 directors. That's not a lot. I mean, we're 50% of the population. And so last year, I sat down in front of my computer for 4 hours every day for 6 months, and I wrote my first film. And as AJ mentioned, we just wrapped production on Tina, a short film I wrote